hole yawns back at you, impossibly wide, a single tentacle burrowed through stone.
This must be where they harvest the tadpoles. We're close to the source of the infections.
All of this, sitting beneath moonrise. For how long? And how deep does it go?
Tread carefully. We are very close to the source of the Absolute now. That telepathic storm has become a tempest.
The stench.
Fresh recruits for
I wonder how many pilgrimages to Moonrise
to a
ended down
necromancer.
here.
A morgue is a muster yard.
Friend, you found the helm. We remember you well. You saved us once. Perhaps you can do it again? They are not kind to us here. We are different, they say, aberrant. They wish to repurpose us, destroy what they cannot fix. Please, help us escape harm. Oh, thank you. Thank you! You are a good friend. No. More. Rescuer!
By my oath. A subtle art.
No! No touch! It is wrong. Other. You sing wrong song too. In wrong voice. Sing other song together then. But away from here.
We are free! Thank you, friend. But perils remain, near and far. Better to stay together. You and us, we will remain with you. Call us, and we will be at your side.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times. One day I'll catch a break.
No will sparks behind his eyes. His mind has been hollowed out to better echo the commands of the collective. You could kill it, end its miserable life of enslavement. Surely that would be the humane thing to do. Or you could take advantage of its vulnerability and plunder what's left of its hollow mind for anything that could blind his well-worn boots, his mind to shiver of impact, crack of bone. He removes the brains.
Part of one mind. 4 little feet dancing to same song.
With a lurch, you realize he means the intellect devourers. Here, the brains are harvested, made part of the hive mind.
Must down deep, 1 of 3. Yes. Yes. Please.
stop me yet.
You sought a fight, and now
Not for long. Time for jump.
Ready for battle.
At last. No more jump. Jump. Jump.
My victims await. Our enemies still draw breath.
Prepare the march. My chosen gather below.
Let's move. What path lies before me?
Your command. Right away. You need my expertise.
Let's see what this does. Don't waste a step. Death won't take me yet.
Fresh orders? Taking up position.
These boots have seen everything.
Brine pools, but empty of tadpoles. Unusual.
This pod has a different air to its chitinous cavern. It's broken beyond repair, seemingly by a blunt impact, as if whoever was inside threw themselves against it in an effort to break out. Your brain hurls an image towards you, your own head, blood gushing down in front of your eyes. The blood inside has not started to rot. There is a fresh hint to it. Banging your fists on a chamber until half your fingers were broken. How long inside? Days? Months? Lifetimes? The parasite was inserted into your head and your body crammed into a pod long before you were moved to the Nautiloid. A laughing woman, taunting you. She betrayed you. Who was she?
Seems simple.
Some who worked here were not thralls or undead. They were loyal to Ketheric and his group.
With haste.
At your command.
Still alive, so that's progress.
Flayers and civilians, side by side.
Your tadpole forms a telepathic connection with the device. and a chorus of static energy fills your mind. Every mind flayer in the room calls out hungrily from its pod, seeking release and sustenance. But there are others in the pods. The device is open to your tadpole's command, to your authority. The device is open to your tadpole's command. Screams, psychic agony, terror, then nothing.
Lashes. Balthazar let one of his walking carcasses lapse from his control. Let's ferry them back. Wait! By the Bone Lord. It's you! I thought I'd never see you again. I wanted to keep you for myself, but they shipped you away. Thing. Why is it even here? I thought we sent its pod away so it could be used elsewhere. Oh, adorable. I did miss it. Its simplicity, its fear, its thrashing its own head against its pod, cracking its skull again and again in a futile attempt to escape. You talk! And you are aware? How is that possible? Oh, but what an arresting voice you have. You're not supposed to be here, Special One. That's not right. But I don't want to damage you. You were my very first, after all. I learned everything about the parasites from you. I remember finding you close to death. Beaten black and blue on the floor of this sanctum. It must have been a few hours after the tadpole was placed in your skull. How you got here was a total mystery. But I stitched you up just enough to keep you alive, then placed you within your crib. I kept you as mine until you were needed by our superiors. We had such a close bond. I opened you up endlessly with my scalpels and got lost in your insides. The most important work, the nature of which I only heard whispers. Truthfully, I'm not surprised to see you found your way back here all by yourself. I always knew you were clever. It has never been the same with another. All the other victims who come here just meekly obey. You thrashed. You fought. You were indomitable. But as special as you are, you shouldn't be swanning around here, acting as if free will is yours again. We're going to kill you, sweet one. But I promise I will stay with you afterwards. Lashes, bring this one back to my table. And prepare my knives for a long night of experiments.
Swift as my feet can carry me.
Yes? A wise move.
Who half pieced you together after whatever caused your head to get in this mess. Someone else must have attacked you in the midst of whatever you were doing down here. This necromancer was a grunt in the scheme of the horrors enacted against you. That attacker is the source. You were no merfolk cultist, that much is sure. You sense in your soul you were something far greater.
What now? What to do?
The moment comes. The absolute. Not design, but death. Baldur's Gate will know my design. Our design. Take the city. Every soul named.
No traps, please. I don't need any attention right now.
Down.
Whatever experiments Balthazar performed here, I fear he made more than thralls and ghouls.
Have them ready.
Let me strike. thirst for combat. Onward.
The city calls out for salvation. Chosen are my heart, and you my many hands.
Blood comes easy these days.
Of many hearts, one soul.
On your command. Understood. unleash me. A bold maneuver. Fresh orders? No choice but to keep going. Let me strike. They should all be running.
I feel glorious. Every day he comes, I want to tell, but the first, yes, he says I am the last. That the other subjects, he's given true soul. She whispers, praise the absolute, separate. My head! I can feel them in my. We are his pets, Lord Gortash.
Our enemies are everywhere.
head hurt. Can I go back to bed, Mummy? Funny, Mum. I'm just very sleepy, Mummy. I wish you'd stop. Night, no.
At least things have stayed interesting.
They want this cook.
Fresh orders. In my mind. Well, in it.
Shh. If we're going to escape, we have to be right this, so we've got wait. Shh. If we're going to escape, we have to be smart. Late this place, so we've got to trick. Wait.
Reporting. Never a dull moment.
Discern, faithful.
There can be no respite. Let's get going. What's hiding here?
The moment comes. The absolute knows.
As the console bursts into life, a mind touches your own. Alien and full of desperate need, but fragmented too. It is incomplete. It yearns to connect, but needs you to guide the process, linking each part of your mind to its like. Mind passively awaits your
What's up, guys?
last door.
That should do it. Time to see what's back there. Swift as my feet can carry me.
Your tadpole echoes, not with presence, but memory, tinged with loss. That loss blooms into a sudden fury, burying claws in your mind. And just as suddenly, pain and memory are gone, leaving only stone once more.
The grand design, the restoration of the Mind Flayer Empire.
Good feelings never last, I suppose.
Fine bones, sharp jaw. Some variety of elf? Pretty enough for a flesh prison, if not the noble Githzerai features I was born with.
The monk-like Githzerai, sibling race to the warrior Githyanki. Their contempt for one another is eclipsed only by their shared hatred of the Illithids.
I'd guess you're no willing guest of the Gake either. Perhaps we might aid one another. Warriors of the mind. Oh, there's some physical prowess involved, but the battlefield on which we truly fight the Gake is their own. My order taught a psionic technique much feared by the Gake. They destroyed us for it, and kept me as a trophy. I never broke, but I've spent all these centuries awake, aware. So here is my offer. Use your tadpole, erase me, and I will pass my technique on to you. My people dwell in limbo, a realm of pure chaotic thought. With my mind gone, perhaps my soul will return there. Or perhaps not. Death, touch my mind, and purge it. At the very moment you do, I will make my knowledge yours. I do not. The Gake have been warping flesh for millennia. Who knows what damage they... It is my mind they enslave. It is my mind that must die.
The awareness that floods you is nothing like the tadpole. It is tentative and tinged with it fades beneath your touch.
It is only knowledge yet, without comprehension. But when you and I...
Take the city, every soul made true.
These symbols are nonsense to me. So why can I read them? Still breathing, despite everything.
Down.
Awaiting orders.
We were quiet.
Can't give up now.
Who's next?
All's well that ends not as bad as it could have. Is anyone else's temple squirming around in this motion?
Feels like something down here has them excited. Or scared.
Need to find a way forward.
No longer a background murmur, the presence in your mind builds to a roar.
We found it. The Absolute is behind this door.
You said it was under control.
It isn't you I answer to, Gortash.
Oh, the general voice. Is this where we salute?
Salute, yes, with cleavers through his blood-starved flesh. How it crawls with failure, like flies on lick-wet carrion.
You forget yourself, Orin. I've played my part.
You've built an army for our masters, true enough. But what of the astral prison? A rogue true soul flaunting it under your nose all this time, and you ran from her.
Sure that they would follow and deliver it into my hands here. If you would cease these distractions.
The distractions have been yours, Ketherick. Perhaps we never should have dug your daughter up. So you haven't lost your edge, but you're still not as sharp as Orin, I wager. The Slayer against the Undying One. That'd be fun to see.
His crypt breath sings to my sinews again, 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 again. But he must lead the murder march to Baldur's grave.
If the weapon is truly in your grasp, Ketherick, might I suggest closing your fist? Orin and I can wait for you no longer. The plan proceeds. We're going to the city, and we expect you to follow. Army and the weapon in tow.
The Edict of Bane.
The Lash of Fall!
The Testament of Merkel!
An elder brain. One of the cruelest and most powerful creatures in existence. Enslaved by mere mortals.
There we are. It wouldn't do to fight in front of our guest. Behold, Duke Ravengard. The Absolute.
Whom preserve us?
You wag your word flap in vain, olderling. Once the worm holds the whip, your shredded flesh will serve us.
Now, it's really time we were going. We will empty this place and begin the march. You may catch up with the army once you've retrieved the weapon. And Ketherick, do try not to sulk. You're supposed to be the fearsome general come to conquer the city. And I am the hero who will save it.
It is time, faithful ones. March on Baldur's Gate. We go to prepare the way.
To be cautious. Let's not get caught off guard.
Predicted. What is it, I wonder, that draws one toward death like a moth to light? You could have run away, absconded with the prism. The one thing that could prevent me from fulfilling my destiny. But the lure of one's destiny is irresistible, isn't it? Perhaps you hope to learn your place in history before you are erased from it. A bright flash of clarity before the snuffing out. Finer champions than you have tried and failed. But perhaps they lacked the fear that drives you. Your freedom hanging in the balance. Let us speak plainly. My Lord Merkel gave me the one thing I desired, the one thing no other god could grant me. My daughter's life returned, her heart beating once more. For that, he asked that I serve as his chosen. Join Orin and Gortash to grow the cult of the Absolute, and then take control of it. He's never had a more devoted follower. I have fought great wars before, in the service of other gods and other powers, but for Merkel, I would condemn all of Faerun to death. You are all that stands between me and my destiny. And you have brought the prism here. I will kill you now, and then I will raise you as my servant. With pleasure.
Can't slow down.
On your command.
Still on my feet.
My victims await.
What a fool you are. You cannot kill me. I am eternal. Merkel, Lord of Bones, I am here. I am ready. I am yours. master. My lord, hear me. Nothing. I am forsaken. You have no idea what you've done. Isabel.
The chosen of Myrtle is dead. Permanently this time.
Ketheric's Netherstone. It's in his armor. Take it.
Open up.
In death, the body is cooling, but energy radiates from the stone.
Remarkable. Truly. Now the picture comes together. The Absolute is neither god nor man. It is the Elder Brain you saw, held here by those three against its will. The crown it wears controls it, and these stones control the crown. It has been dominated. To master an Elder Brain, to subdue it, our enemies are formidable. I believe you fought and defeated an avatar of Merkel, the god of necromancy. A remarkable feat. Ketheric was Merkel's chosen. I know Lord Enver Gortash, an arms dealer and a slaver. He is a worshipper of Bane, the god of tyranny. The other is a mystery to me, but the way she spoke, it's most likely she follows Baal, the god of murder. Which means the Absolute is a front for the gods of death, and our enemies are chosen of the dead three. Bane, Baal, and Merkel. The tyrant, the assassin, and the necromancer. They are known to pick from their most devout followers a chosen, granting them incredible powers. Each one alone would be a formidable enemy. But working together, and with those stones and that crown, I dare not imagine what they might achieve. A temporary reprieve, but a welcome one. With the brain on its way to the city, its influence here is weakened. The crown's markings suggest it was forged in Netheril, an ancient empire whose mastery over magic rivaled that of the gods. It is a crown of domination. The stones were taken from its crest. They are nether stones, imbued with the ability to control the wearer of the crown. The crown's Netherese magic must be the true source of the parasite's abilities. This must be what elevates their potential. And it must be the reason nobody could heal you. If the crown can do this to the parasites, I dare not imagine what it is doing to the brain. The army of the Absolute is marching on Baldur's Gate. Within the city, an elder brain brimming with power, ready to turn everyone within its reach into mind flayers. All it needs is an order. An order the Death God's chosen are on the cusp of giving. We must wrest control of the brain from the chosen before that happens. We must take their stones. Our chances of success are slim, but we must not fail. If we fail, everything ends. I will be your shield, but you must be the sword. And when the chance to strike comes, you must take it. For there may only be one chance.
Yes?
Looking ahead. What's in here? Moving ahead.
Killing an undying man is no easy task, but the Absolute is not vanquished. Our work has only just begun.
Thinking on all that we learned below. If you've caught your breath, we ought to discuss our next steps.
Friend, we are here for you! What Absolute? The Absolute does not care about us. And we do not care about the Absolute. We are different, and we are saved. Friend! We will not cause you any trouble, friend! We will project a different form that will cloak us from all but your closest acquaintances. You and your friends shall see us as we truly are. All others shall see a kitty, a small predator, indigenous to this world. They kitties can walk anywhere, and they are most cunning.
It's
Aelin!
Isabel. My love. You were dead. I saw your body.
I'm here. And so are you. And my father, he can't hurt us any longer.
I dreamt every night that you'd come back to me. But somehow it was all a nightmare Dawn would undo.
I had no dreams at all. Nothing but darkness. And when I woke, my father said you were dead.
His soul was poisoned by the god of death. His sick devotion ruined him. But for all his sins, he brought you back to me. Are you all right?
I will be. And you?
In this moment, I want for nothing.
Ah, there you are. This is Aelin. Aelin, this is...
Oh, but we have met. This is the soldier that freed me most valiantly from the Shadowfell. They watched my boot crush the very brain of villainy, and fought well against your changed father.
May he rest in peace at last, now that he's dead. I have more to thank you for than I knew. And we have much to discuss. Perhaps we could join you in your camp later? We look forward to it.
Now, you will leave us. We must take succor in one another's bodies and words.
Aelin! We'll see you later.
All right, what now?
Our enemies spread like rub rot. Treat one patch, and two more bloom in its place. An elder brain, bound by lost Netherese magic, with servants of the dead three holding the chain. Reminds me of old times. Extensively. Mind flayers, too. But I never dreamed of seeing gods and Illithids working in consort. It is most disturbing. But take courage. We have killed a man who could not die, and stripped the Absolute's army of its general. You have a nether stone, and you're on the scent of two more. These Chosen have reason to fear you, and I would like to be at your side when you confront them. Of course, falling foul of Ketheric convinced me that my grand adventures were behind me. That even if I survived, I should hang up my blades. But you convinced me otherwise. We ventured into darkness together. Now we've come out the other side. I'd say I'm feeling a little refreshed. When we reach Baldur's Gate, there will be even darker paths to tread. I will follow you wherever they lead. How does it compare to a shadow-cursed inn? With the Absolute's army gone, the Risen Road should be clear. We can follow it all the way to Baldur's Gate. There's a Harper's safe house in Worm's Crossing. Denthelin's Dancing Axe. We do well to check in with them before entering the city proper. Beyond that, our course is yours to set. I can recall how to take orders, as well as give them.
Thy hunger denied. Soluna's faithful yet shines. The balance shifts. Thou hast seen with thine own eyes and felt in thine urges. The dead three unite. There are depths to this alliance yet unplumbed. Consider, mortal. Do Illithids possess souls? No. Nor canst thou count mind flayers among them. Yet, the three amass an Illithid army void of apostolic souls that could imbue them with power. A flock without souls, yet to what end, O tempted one? This is the question thou must come to answer. Until such time, be availed of my services. Nothing thou dost not already know. Yes, Bane, Lord of Darkness, Baal, Lord of Murder, Merkel, Lord of Bones. Once judged, ascended, then vanquished as one, and as three. The alliance is reforged, mortal. The plains thus quake, and the gods shudder. Where matters of balance are concerned, I am eternally cold.
I will never tire of sitting on dead men's thrones. Power always has. But I shall not get too comfortable here. We must be free if we are to rule. And to be free, we must destroy this cult. And Ketheric's co-conspirators along with it. I know one of them, all too well. Baal's bloodletter, Orin. To think, I thought her to be speaking for the Absolute. I worshipped that woman. You make it sound so simple. She is the chosen of Baal, Lord of Murder, and one of the cult's founders. Indeed, she is the one who indoctrinated me with the Absolute's lies. When I first visited Moonrise, I stood before the Absolute in awe. It was more of an idea than an entity. Pure love, total power. Orin was by my side. She told me that God had chosen me to be a true soul, blessed and adored. Now I know that those memories are lies. There was no God. Orin held me down in a cocoon of flesh, while a mind flayer forced a parasite into my brain. And she laughed at my fear. I will find her. I will murder her. And I will smile. Let them think that. There is a short path from savior to ruler. A short and bloody path. I know it well, and we will walk it together. But Baldur's Gate is a mere bauble. We have the chance to seize something much greater. Surely you see it. In killing Ketheric, we fractured the cult's leadership. When we break the other chosen and claim their netherstones, we can take control. I would have thought this entire conspiracy of gods and monsters to be impossible if I had not seen it for myself. We may fail, but we must try. The power of the enslaved Elder Brain could reshape the world. We could reshape the world. Nothing worthwhile ever came without loss. But together we have the strength to decide who loses, and to make sure it is not us. You are not stupid. When we reach Baldur's Gate and face the other chosen, you will see that my way is the right one. The Elder Brain is the only thing that has ever managed to change my mind. You're welcome to try. We are bound, then, to travel together, even if we do not yet agree on our ultimate purpose. There is yet one thing about you that troubles me, though. Something I need you to explain. When we killed the tieflings at the Grove, I was not in control of my actions. You do not have that excuse. So I ask you, why? Why kill them? I'm flattered. Will you be bringing dead rats and birds to my tent, now that we share a camp? I jest, but it is as good a reason as any. I have done much more foolish things to win the respect of far inferior people. I am satisfied. Now, I am ready to leave this damned place whenever you give the word. The city awaits. You wish to consult me? A true soul came to my city preaching a message of togetherness, accompanied by 2 novices. Menzoberranzan is not fertile ground for such messages. I killed them and hanged their bodies in my garden. I would have picked prettier corpses if my intentions had been aesthetic. This was a warning against heresy. I was not content with the warning, though. I intended to wage war on their insolent god and the rest of its followers, even as the flesh sagged and sloughed away from their eyeless skulls. Their audacity infuriated me. I had to know where they came from. And whoever sent them was counting on my curiosity overcoming my caution. Indeed. A man you know all too well. General Ketheric Thorm. The dead cough up their secrets just as well as the living. All it took was a simple act of necromancy, and the corpses told me where I needed to strike. Moonrise Towers. It is never safe to point out my shortcomings, Iblith. But in this instance, you are correct. Moonrise is the site of my greatest failure. As it turned out, to my shame, I was defeated without even drawing my weapon. I came to Moonrise with a retinue of warriors and assassins, the best House Bainray had to offer. I expected a battle, but found a fully laden feast table and a welcome befitting a house matron. Ketheric expected us, expected me, and I fell for his flattery. Perhaps I deserved what came after the welcome as well. Ketheric proposed an alliance between Moonrise and Menzoberranzan. I admit I was captivated by him. He invited me to the head of his table as his guest of honor. I was wary, of course. If I had been in his position, the food would have been poisoned. It was not the food I should have been wary of. It was the pale woman at the foot of the table. Orin the Red. We had barely begun to eat when she spoke for the first time. I only caught one word, my name. Then, quick as lightning, she climbed onto the table, a dagger in each hand, and skipped toward me, slicing the throats out of my men as she passed them. If it had been an option, I would have. Ketheric held me still, his hand on my shoulder, the grip tight enough to crack the bone. When Orin stood before me, she touched the dagger to my eye, drawing out a tear of blood. "I want this one," she said. Ketheric nodded his permission, and I was taken below. You've seen the horrors of the colony. Orin kept me there for days. She forced me to watch as my men were processed. Some for food, others as thralls. And then she placed the tadpole in my eye herself. That is certain. You know the rest as well as I do. There were massacres before the Grove. Religious communities, mostly. Those who refused to convert. Then there was you, and now there is freedom. Soon there will be vengeance. I take no pleasure in his passing. Whatever faults he may have had, Ketheric was a great leader. Of course. He ruled Moonrise for centuries. That in itself deserves respect. I believe he was an honorable man, but the gods used him as their plaything. First Shah and her sister, then the three behind the Absolute. I sympathize. It is a sharp mind that feels sympathy for one who suffers unnecessarily, not a soft heart. I saw strength in Ketheric that had been diluted by pain, but I will never forgive him for handing me to Orin. For that, I hope Merkel hollows out his bones and lets them be dust. A disparate collection of vagabonds and strays. Did you have anyone particular in mind? She is intelligent, strong, and capable as both a leader and a fighter. An impressive woman. It is a shame that she devotes all of her talents and experience to the futile cause of the Harpers. Their devotion to preserving balance is pathetic. Precisely. Preservation and balance are an excuse for inaction and stagnation. There are organizations like the Harpers in every realm and every culture. I despise all of them. They fear change and would rather maintain mediocrity than face the risks and challenges that progress demands. I would rather break the world and build it anew than be satisfied with its imperfections. I will never tire of sitting on dead men's thrones. My blood. To think. I thought her to be speaking. You make it sound so simple. Indeed. She is the one who indoctrinated me with the Absolutes. She is fierce, vicious, and cruel. In those respects, we are alike. But she is dangerously unpredictable. If there is a way to turn this design towards slaughter, rather than control, she will take it. She is the one who brought me to Moonrise, and into the presence of her so-called god, the Absolute. Now I know that those memories are lies. There was no god. Orin, I will find her. I will murder. It is as if you read my mind. Perhaps you did. In killing Ketheric, we fractured the cult's leadership. When we break the other chosen and claim their netherstones, we can take control. I expected you would be. But know this. What I propose is nigh on impossible. But if anyone can succeed, it is us. We have the prism, and we have the courage to slay gods. We may fail, but we must try. The power of the enslaved Elder Brain could reshape the world. We could reshape the world. And then we will need no gods. We will be their equal. We will be absolute. We have a purpose and a bond. By my oath, I will fight with you while that purpose holds. There is yet one thing about you that troubles me. That when we killed the tieflings at the Grove, I was not in control of my actions. No. You wish to consult me? I take no pleasure in his passing. Whatever fault of, I sympathize. As are we. And if the coming battle breaks us, Menzoberranzan is not fertile ground for such mess. But... And whoever sent them was counting on my curiosity over... In a manner of... The dead cough up. All it took was a simple act of necromancy, and the corpses told me where I needed to strike. Moonrise Towers. Despite... But he... As it turned out, to my shame, I came to Moonrise with a retinue of warriors and assassins. I expected a battle, but found... Ketheric expected us. Expected me. And I fell for his flattery. Perhaps I just... Then, quick as lightning, she climbed onto the table, a dagger in each hand, and skipped toward me. Few things frighten me. Orin is one of them. Ketheric held me still. His hand on my shoulder, the grip tight enough to crack the bone. When Orin stood before me, she touched the dagger to... I want this one. And then she placed the tadpole in my... Soon there will be vengeance. A disparate... Their devotion to preserving balance is pathetic. It is precise. I would rather break the world and build it...
Do we have a target? I hope this is important. For your sake.
Horrible than you can imagine. Try me.
I've got a long road ahead. Breathe deep and move. something good here, I hope.
No use digging here.
The Absolute alive, thanks to you. You did well to defeat Ketheric, but Ketheric was only the first to fall. There are many more battles ahead, They will not be so easily won. You will need allies. Jaheira's wisdom will be an asset to you on the journey ahead. Her harpers too. But if we are to succeed, we will need others. Baldur's Gate may not know it yet, but its fate is bound to ours. Seek on its streets those whose purpose aligns with our own, and invite them to our cause. Together, we will put an end to the Absolute, the Chosen, all.
Ketheric may be gone, but the shadows remain. On our guard.
The road to Baldur's Gate is west of the town. If we hurry, we'll arrive before the Absolute's forces.
Just tell me what you need. Lady.
And the stone.
You are welcome.
This is the spot that's marked on that map. No use digging here.
road to Baldur's Gate is up ahead. No turning back once... To Baldur's Gate. Voss will be waiting in the...
Well, hello. What can I do for you?
Good time for a chat.
You wanted something? I'm sorry. It might be best kept until later.
You wish to consult me?
There you are. I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation. Come closer. Feel my voice rattle your bones as Moon Maiden Selûne. Hear me, Ketheric Thorm, traitor of my mate, Most High. Blessings upon the slayer of the Wicked One. Listen to the subtle vibrations of the Moon Maiden thumping within your heart chambers, friend. She works her magic there. My darling Isabel says we will stay allied at your side. I am pleased to hear it. Pray, ask, and I will tell. Do I not radiate with my mother's brightness? There can be no doubt. I am of her silvered flesh, her celestial womb. Why, she already has. She has brought her sword to your side, Dame Aelith. So mighty are her wonders, her great wisdom. Together, we will set this fair land free of tyranny and murder. A century of it by now. I loved her from the moment I beheld her sweet face, her great wise eyes. Her father Ketheric never did trust me. He did not fancy an immortal for his daughter's paramour. When she died, curse the day, the hour. We each of us mourned bitterly. But Ketheric's pain could be touched by no aid, no boundary. He turned to wretched Shah, the Lady of Loss, for relief. And she whispered into his ear, poisoning his mind. He and his loathsome advisor, Balthazar, lured me into the Shadowfell, claimed they'd found someone in need of my aid. There, they trapped me in their infernal cage. I was killed, murdered, made dead over and over and over by justiciars of every make and kind. I was reborn, for it is my nature, and Ketheric fed upon my immortality all the while. But lo, the brute is dead, and we live!
I can't believe it. I can't believe. And my father. I heard what happened. By killing him, you set him free. You set Aelin free. And me. Not on purpose. Or not with the intent to deceive. I've been trying to make sense of it all. Ketheric Thorm was my father. He raised me to serve Selûne as my mother, rest her soul, had wished. He was everything to me. When an emissary of Selûne came to our little town, we were elated. Dame Aelin, daughter of the Moon Maiden herself. Tell me, do you believe in love at first sight? That's exactly it. And I tell you, I took one look at her and lucky for me, she felt the same way. But my father was skeptical. I understand it's strange. There's an imbalance between us, certainly. But I suppose loving Aelin felt the same as loving myself. It was natural, then. And this is where I still need answers. I died. I'm not sure how, why, but all was black. Next I knew, I was being jolted awake. I smelled musty air, I saw shadows. And then my father's face. So changed. So hideously warped. I didn't know that then, but I could see the change in him. He told me we'd be together now. I found last light within the shadows, made a shelter there, prayed my father wouldn't find me. By the time Jaheira came, I'd pieced together just enough to know I'd been dead 100. I couldn't tell her who I was. I had to protect them, and myself, no matter what. It's all out in the open now, and with my father dead, I have nothing to fear. Except for Aelin. She needs healing, rest. I'm grateful for your help, your friendship. I hope we won't intrude on your hospitality too long, but I'm grateful for a safe place.
Your stomach churns around and around. The bile within is unsettled. Each moment brings a new surge. Your companions sleep like blissful lumps of meat.
The gods fight over her. But is she truly that special? I am here to watch your moment of triumph, my loathly master. Your clever mind is penning tragedy as we speak. Your repressed urge yearns to kill. And kill you will. Tonight, the moment you close your eyes, your favorite person will be brutalized. One of your station has no equal to call a friend. There was much disappointment at your reluctance to kill the little moon maiden. You could kill this one deliberately. I'm sure it will be considered a great show of goodwill. The tithe could still be yours. I do not doubt you will act with a decorum befitting one of your rank. Good night. Sweet.
Your companion rests blissfully, without a fear in the world. As your hand approaches her body, it wavers. It longs to close around her throat. As soon as you raise the dagger, all doubts disappear from your mind, replaced by pure pleasure. In the heat of the night, those last gasps are those of disappointment. With almost no struggle, she has gone out like a light. You grant one last caress to your dead companion. Regrettably, the corpse before you is not your only company on this dark night. Footsteps approach, not your butler, come to celebrate this splendid deed, but the others, woken by your happy life.
Your chaotic urges will be the death of us all if we do not end you first.
That is true. The implications are most disturbing. Skvar, we are now a warrior short. Let us hope this is the last of these.
A reprobate liar. But what's one more, darlings? You are holding on to your allies by but a